Hey guys, it's Cece and welcome to another HP Chat. In my last HP Chat video where I discussed what the characters of Harry Potter might have done as jobs in the Muggle world, I also asked for questions, and so today I'm going to be answering all of your Harry Potter related questions. I will have a special guest later on. I talked to Janel, as many of you requested that she be in this video, and she can only show up for a couple of questions. Our schedule's a little tight right now, but I did set aside some questions to ask with her, so stay tuned. At the end, we will answer some questions together, but mostly I have lots of Harry Potter related questions to ask, so we're just gonna get right in and answer them. Hi, my name is Rachel, asked what my favorite Harry Potter headcanons are. The first one is based on a comment that J.K. Rowling has made that has just kind of turned into a headcanon that I've read a lot of stuff for, and that is that Dudley has a magical child. I love so much of the stuff written about Dudley and a magical child that he might have in the future. The fact that McGonagall went to Ron and Hermione's wedding and that Ron asked her to dance for old time's sake, it's just this cute little headcanon I saw once on Tumblr that makes my heart really happy. People in general learn how to open the Chamber of Secrets. They do what Ron did and they learn how to say open in Parseltongue, and that kind of becomes like a hidden hangout spot. It's like a communal area for people of all different houses to get together, and it's just like, they spruce it up. You know, maybe they get rid of the gigantic basilisk skeleton, maybe they painted some brighter colors, but it becomes kind of a secret hangout spot that a lot of people can use, and it encourages cross-house mingling, which is really what I want most. And then I also love basically any and all Muggle-born headcanon. I was so obsessed with them for a while. I wanted them to be their own book. I think they're funny. I think it's a great way to combine things we love about Harry Potter with things like technology and how we feel we would fit in at Hogwarts. I love Muggle-born headcanons. I think they're so funny. If I could ask J.K. Rowling one thing, what would I ask her? I didn't even consider the answer to this. Okay, so if I'm being salty, I would ask her, like, why she has to stomp all over everybody's dreams and why she can't just let people have their own ideas about the series, but I'll be honest, if I ever actually met J.K. Rowling, I probably would not have the ability to be salty. So what would I ask her seriously? I might ask her more about Dumbledore's treatment of Sirius, because I think it's kind of messed up coming from Dumbledore's perspective, and the fact that he's supposed to kind of know everything, but he doesn't believe this one thing, and then he's kind of terrible to Sirius afterwards. I have my own theories for this, but knowing J.K. Rowling, she disproves them all, because my theory is that Dumbledore sees way too much of himself in Sirius, because they're both gay, and that he kind of like punishes that, but I know that J.K. Rowling doesn't think that, because one gay allowed per series. But I would just want to know more of her reasoning for why, when it came to Sirius Black, that's where Dumbledore has these really huge stumbling points that he treats him just so unfairly, and it's never quite made sense to me. So that's probably what I would ask her about. Haley of These Book Lions asked me, well, it's not even a question, it is, this isn't a question, but please trash Snape, thanks. Haley, you get me. You just get me. So I don't know if this is a thing I've brought up in videos before, but it's a thing I was recently thinking about. The fact that had Voldemort decided that Neville was going to be the chosen one and he'd killed Neville instead of Harry, Snape would still be a Death Eater and he'd be evil, and that would have been it. And it was only when something affected him directly that he decided that he was going to be a good guy. And by good guy, I mean a friend-zoned, little whiny baby man. Also, Snape ruined Lupin's life for, like, no reason. Lupin didn't do anything to him. The people he hung out with in school did stuff to him, maybe, but it's been like years and they've all kind of gotten over it, and then Lupin's like, all right, I'm just here to try to make a living, and then Snape ruined Lupin's life forever by outing him, so everyone knows now forever that he's a werewolf. He can never get another paying job, basically. But it probably led directly to the Ministry making it even more difficult for werewolves to get jobs, because parents found out that there was a werewolf in the school. So not only did Snape ruin Lupin's life forever over school, like, disagreements, he also ruined the life of, like, every werewolf in the wizarding community. Oh, he's such a little dirtbag. Okay, Alexander asked if I could sort Avatar characters into Hogwarts houses, and I did. Starting with Aang, since he's the Avatar, I think Aang is a Hufflepuff. I think Katara and Sokka are both Gryffindors. I think that they're both Gryffindors, and then they have different secondary houses. I do think Zuko's a Slytherin, but I think he's a way of showing that there are the ways that a Slytherin can have these traits and be kind of a bad guy, and the way that a Slytherin can have all of these traits and still be a good guy. I think Toph is a Ravenclaw. I think Suki is a Gryffindor. I think Azula is a Slytherin. Iroh is a Ravenclaw. I think Ty Lee is a Hufflepuff, and then I think May is a Gryffindor. That is how I sort all of the Avatar characters. Basically, what I'm getting overall from all of these questions is talk ships, talk canon, and not canon. What do you think? A lot of these questions came from the fact that in my Muggle AU video, I said that in my mind, Luna and Ginny kind of got married off. It's really great. I love Ginny and Luna as a couple. I still really like Ginny and Harry as a couple, and I always have. And I think that they're a good relationship and they make sense. I don't really like Luna and Harry. I think that they're more friendship. And that's also how I feel about Harry and Hermione. I think that provides a really narrow view of what I think is a beautifully written friendship between a male character and a female character, which doesn't happen as often, to have that really strong friendship and not to have it confused with romance. And so, I don't know, I really don't like Harry and Hermione because I find that reductive of their relationship. Wolfstar forever. Remus and Sirius are just huge place in my heart. I think that Dean and Seamus were a couple, and I refuse to be told otherwise. They were in love. They're now married. As far as Drarry, I kind of go back and forth between thinking it's ridiculous and thinking it's kind of legitimate. Sometimes I view it as a really funny thing that, yeah, it's hysterical how obsessed with it that they are with one another and how much that plays out over all the books. But at the same time, like, it's a plausible reason to offer for their obsession. I don't know. I like Drarry. Michael asked what characters from the series do you view as diverse or part of the LGBTQIA+ community? So I put a lot of my headcanons for this on Luna. I feel like she's a person that you can put basically any identity on, and it makes sense for her. I view her as being asexual. McGonagall is a lesbian, and Pottermore can't tell me otherwise. I'm horrified. As far as, like, diversity beyond headcanoning characters as part of the queer community, I prefer to think of Hermione as black. I think that is a really valid interpretation. Other than that, I'm a huge fan of the interpretation of Harry being biracial. I think that a lot of the explanations for that make a ton of sense and just would make the series even stronger, in my opinion, if that's what we decided. So, yeah, those are my opinions on that. I really liked this one. Christina asked, do you think that they should have given the Silver Trio more of a role in the first books in the series, or did you appreciate it just as it was with the build-up of them becoming more prevalent in later books? I'm personally a huge fan of the build-up. I like that they became more integral as the series went on because I feel like it was another extension of them continuing to grow up and mature. It just feels really authentic to me that at the very beginning of school, these three people kind of team up and they become best friends, and then as their school years go on, they kind of collect more people who become a part of their group instead of immediately coming out of the gate and having this big group of people. I just think that it makes a lot more sense for all of their developments as characters to slowly become closer and to become a bigger group of people. I really like the way that evolved over time, and the integration of the Silver Trio, I think, is actually done really well. Opinion on people calling Book 5 Harry whiny or angsty? No. Harry Potter in Order of the Phoenix has PTSD. Like, he witnessed a very close friend die in front of him, and then to kind of write off his anger as just, like, being whiny and angsty, I think is not fair. I think he has PTSD. That's what's happening in Book 5. So I'm going to turn the time over to Cece and Janelle, and we're going to talk some Marauders stuff, because no one loves the Marauders more than Janelle. So, over to you guys. Answer more Harry Potter questions. Go! Look, I found Janelle. Huffleby asked, what is your opinion on James Potter as an individual character, but also on his relationship with Lily?
Love him. He's great.
At one point, she told me that James Potter was her favorite character.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think it rotates.
Yeah. Who's your favorite character?
Either him, or Sirius, or Remus.
You remember the Marauders thing I mentioned earlier?
Are my male favorites, and then my female favorite is Hermione.
Obviously.
Okay.
I also like James. I also like James and Lily's relationship.
It's weird because we really don't know that much about James. Like, if you're just going off the books, we really know very little, actually.
Yeah, we don't know that much.
It's not the most flattering portrayal, maybe, if you just go by the books. But I think that
But they give a lot of explanation as to why that portrayal is what it is.
The thing to me that always, like, cements James and Lily's relationship is the conversation in book 6 in between Remus, Sirius, and Harry.
That's exactly what I was
in the
gonna
middle
say.
of the night when he flews them and is like, my father was an asshole! And, you know, Remus and Sirius are both like, no.
I mean,
they were in love.
Yeah. They're both kind of like, I mean, yes, but he was also 15, and then eventually he wasn't 15 anymore.
Yeah. I like James because he's an asshole, but he's also a nice guy eventually.
Mm-hmm.
He's not like a nice guy, but he's like a decent dude.
He's like a decent human being eventually.
Yeah.
So, hi, my name is Rachel asked, in a video you commented you wouldn't want a Marauders book. Why is that? I believe we were together when we said that, so...
No, I never want J.K. Rowling to touch the Marauders ever again.
No.
That's great. No.
So, first and foremost, as I've already mentioned, I am an avid Wolfstar shipper, but Janel is about 100 zillion times more passionate about Wolfstar than I am.
I'm not interested in that at all. Mm-mm. When they released Remus Lupin's backstory on Pottermore, I was like devastated for days.
She still will get devastated about it every now and then. Like, that hasn't gone away with time.
That was one of the first big cracks in me and J.K. Rowling's relationship.
Mm-hmm. You know,
it's only become more strained since then.
So, that actually leads us into Pale Cupcake Kid asked, what are 5 things you want to change about the saga?
Alright, Sirius and Remus's relationship, more gays overall, better characterization for the women.
I would add the epilogue in general.
Oh, I'll take that too. Could number 4 be epilogue / J.K. Rowling, like, being like, everyone must be paired off.
Everyone must be heterosexually paired off.
Pair the spares.
Pair the spares, etc.
Yeah.
All my new favorite terms that we recently learned.
Can I say that... Who would I want not to have died?
Oh, that was a question that I actually didn't answer, is if you could bring back one person, why would it be?
Hedwig.
Hedwig. Who asked that? Let's see. Amber. Amber asked if we could bring back one person.
Well, then on my 5th one, and this Hedwig.
You don't want to bring back any of your faves? Oh, I mean, then you can only bring back one, and they're, like, sad forever.
Yeah, I want to bring back Hedwig.
I'd bring back Fred.
No, I want Hedwig. I like Fred, but Hedwig, what if they got hit, like, a male out, and then each of Harry's children could have a Hedwig, and then their children could have a Hedwig, and then there would be Hedwigs for years.
I know a way that we could please J.K. Rowling. Hedwig gets paired off with Errol, because there were these 2 owls that were heterosexual that we never got to see get together and have children. Whoa. So Paula asked, who would you cast as the Marauders and Lily when they were Hogwarts age?
I have no idea.
Because you don't like the fan cast
Not
that
really.
People have.
I don't like... Oh, what's her name?
Karen Gillan.
Like, she has red hair. I get it. Like, what else is there? Like, you can dye someone's hair red.
Well, and at this point, all of the people that have been fan casted who I feel like I can name
are too old.
They're all getting too old, because Ben Barnes is the usual go-to for Sirius.
Yeah.
Andrew...
Garfield?
Andrew Garfield is usually cast as Remus.
Oh, and
that one guy.
Little shit from, Kick-Ass. What's his name?
Yes! He is from Kick-Ass!
And they're all too old now.
They're all too old.
And I don't like them to begin with.
Well, I know that I've said this, but you hate this fan cast. I like Ezra Miller as Sirius, but you think he's too feminine.
I don't know. I just think he's too old too.
No, he's not.
He is.
He played a teenager literally 6 months ago.
Yeah, well, now he's in Fantastic Beasts, so it doesn't work anyway.
Well, I know, they're never gonna make a movie, but I like Ezra Miller.
He's ugly in Fantastic Beasts.
He was, but I love Ezra Miller.
He was so pathetic looking.
Well, he was a sad, repressed gay, and can we come up with a better representation of Sirius Black than that?
No, he was happy until he went to jail.
For 12 years.
And died.
Yeah. Since we did just take kind of a shit on the series as a whole, then we'll do a positive one. So, Nerds and Novels on Tumblr asked, what's your biggest praise and biggest criticism of the series as a whole? I think in the example that they gave me, I would agree with my biggest criticism is lack of diversity.
Yeah.
In general.
I think if
you're summing it up into like one thing that I would really want there to be, there's more than one homosexual in Harry Potter.
And different explicit races for the main characters.
Different, more explicit races. Biggest praise as a whole.
I think it's hard to sum up because, I mean, there's just, like, I could sit here and I could talk for an hour about all the things that make me mad and all the things I would change, but I still love it so much.
We both have a Harry Potter tattoo.
Yeah.
Mine's easy to get to because it's on my wrist.
I can show mine.
Yeah, you can show yours. So, we both love the series.
And, I mean, I got this, like, a few months ago.
Yeah.
So, like, even, you know, being critical of the series, I still chose to get it on my skin. And I'm planning on getting another one.
Do you want to talk about the other one?
No, I'm not going to talk about that. It's just so comforting, I guess. And it's just they're just such great novels. There's so much character development. There's just, like, page-turning adventure.
I love the relationships, I think. I just feel like so many of them were written so well, especially the Golden Trio, and the fact that I think I saw someone once say that what's great about the trio is that they're all the awkward third wheel, and that just appeals to me. And the world building. Yeah. The amount of, like, foreshadowing that's in the books is really impressive and, like, masterful when it comes to writing.
I mean, yeah, J.K. Rowling really managed to build a fleshed out world in 7 books without it also being, like, overwhelming.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's still a series that you can get something new out of every time.
Yeah. Yes, always. I always feel that way.
Okay. Well, those are all the questions I set aside for Janelle to answer. So she has to go to work now, and we'll turn it back over to other Cece. So you can wave bye. The end! Okay, so those are all of the questions that I and Janelle, by extension, had time to answer for this video. I hope that you enjoyed watching and hearing some of our answers. Is a Harry Potter Q&A style video something that you would be interested in me doing again? Is there another fandom you would want me to do a Q&A like this for? Leave all of those ideas in the comments below. If you want me to do another Harry Potter Q&A, leave additional questions in the comments below and I'll go through them. What do you think of my answers to some of these questions? Let me know that in the comments below as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye!